we have different types, right? Earlier one, the one which we discussed yesterday, okay, in fact had only blanks and we had to fill it. But in this case, we have to fill these blanks. Okay, we have to fill these blanks using the words given from A to J, the one in the box. Okay, like that. So here the level of difficulty is slightly on the higher side here. Okay, because these kind of questions are given to you in section 3 here. Because you see question number 31 to 35, I did. Okay, but the strategy remains same here. Okay, what we need to do is first we need to go to the questions, then we have to come to the options here. Okay, and in the passage we have to identify the answers and then write them down. That's how it is. Okay, so the first thing that you're supposed to do is to see the heading of the passage. Okay, the heading of the passage, like how to make wise decisions. Okay, how to make wise decisions, like that. So wise, as you know, it means intelligent. Okay, wise means intelligent, how to make wise decisions, like that. Okay, how to make intelligent decisions. That's exactly what we need here. Okay, fine. Well, so now let's see in the questions that what are important. So the characteristics of wise reasoning. Okay, so like how we did yesterday, like we need to scan for the word which is really important for this particular passage. So Igor Grossman and colleagues. So this will be the easy word for us to identify, because as a name of a person or a place or a thing, okay, and any one of these things could be important for us, like that. Okay, well, so Igor Grossman and colleagues established. So first see this and then look at the word which is before the blank. Okay, like that. So first see the word before the blank. So certain degree of. It's important to have certain degree of. And once you see this in the passage, okay, once you see this in the passage, we have to find out what is that word that is given after the degree of, then come back here and see which word matches with that word. Then we will have to write the answer for that. Okay, now let's try doing that. Characteristics of wise reasoning. So Igor Grossman. So where is this Igor is mentioned? Igor is mentioned. So let me just open the passage once more so that it's easy for us to navigate. Okay. So now we need to scan for the person's name, ideally. So it won't be in the first or second or third paragraph, because as we had discussed, like we see the other question here, like before these questions, we have had MCQ single type of questions, right? So after these questions, so here also the order of the questions match the order of the passage. Okay, so 27th one would be in the first paragraph, 28th would be in second paragraph, 29th would be in third paragraph. It is like that. Okay, So we need to scan for these answers, the fill in the blank answers, after about 3 or 4 paragraphs. Okay, right. To make wise decisions. 4 characteristics. The easiest, another word that is easy for us to locate is 4 characteristics. Like that. Okay. So we need to scan for Igor Grossman and 4 everywhere. Okay. So where do we get this? Party and mainly
It's yes, sir.
and colleagues. Ah,
Grossman and his colleagues.
yes, Grossman and colleagues. Yes, it is here. And the next word that we have to scan for, because once you get the first answer, then rest of the other answers would follow the same order. So it may take a few seconds for you to get the first answer here or the source of the first answer, but that is completely okay, right? Because once you get them, then you get the rest of it easily. Okay, right. So where is 4 here that we can see? Do we see here anywhere? So on the day of exam, like you will have to scan quickly, like about the 4 that they talk about. And let's start from here if they have discussed anything about 4 things. Here it is. Can you see? Identified 4 key characteristics. I hope you can see that. Hello.
Yes, sir.
You all can unmute and we can discuss things that would be much effective. Okay, because I need to know whether you got it or not. So please unmute. Okay, and we can discuss. So I hope you can see the 4 key characteristics. I have just underlined here. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
The 4th paragraph, right? So as I said, the answer would start from the 3rd or 4th paragraph, because the first 3 paragraphs, like they have the answers for those MCQs, which we just witnessed before these questions. I mean, this is from 31 to 35. Earlier to that, 27 to 30, these answers were there in the first 3 paragraphs. Okay. Now, once we locate this 4 characteristics, okay, then we have to go for the next sentence where we find it out here. All right, 4. So it is here. The word is here. In fact, 4. Okay. Of wise reason. And then it is important to have a certain degree of. So what is the key word that we have here? Certain degree of. Okay, to have a certain degree. So what is the synonym of certain degree, which we can find in the next sentence? Okay, that we have to identify here. Right. One is intellectual humility or recognition. Okay, of the limits of our own knowledge. Okay, so important to have a certain degree of dash regarding the extent of our knowledge. See, the word knowledge is also here. So you can see all the words that are there in the question also. So in this line itself, you will have that one word which we need for our answer. Okay. And in order to find out what are those 4 skills, you can easily go one, you see, another, like this. It means that they are characterizing one or the other, like that. Intellectual humility. Okay, that's the thing. Certain degree of. Certain degree means it is the limit. Okay, of the limit that we in fact have here. Okay, so once we get that certain degree, means the word limit. Okay, that would actually tell us that for that certain degree of, so we need to find out a synonym of that word here. Recognition of the limits of our knowledge. Intellectual humility. So what word that we could connect to our knowledge here? So what do you think? Humility or recognition. For that word, what word that from A to J that could be connecting to us, or that could be identifiable as an answer here, as a synonym?
It could be range, sir.
Sorry?
Range.
Rain.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is it
Intellectual
objectified?
humility. So see, the word that we need here is intellectual humility, okay, or maybe recognition, but main word intellectual humility. So for this intellectual humility, what is the closest word from A to J? That is my question. Intellectual humility. Any guesses?
Sir, is it modesty, sir?
Very good. Yes, it
Thank
is.
you, sir.
Modesty means intellectual humility means modesty, right? Being human, that is certain degree of humility regarding the extent of our knowledge. Okay, that is in fact what we need. And to take into account, so this is another. So I hope 31 is clear to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what do we need to do? First, scan that word in the passage, intellectual humility, as we got in this case. Okay. Then come back here and select the closest word to what you have selected there in the passage. So here the level of difficulty is definitely higher. There's no doubt about it, because one, it is in section 3. Okay. Second, we need to find out the synonym of the answer that we found out. The passage. Okay, like that. So now next one, and to take into account dash. Okay, what is that word that we may need here, which may not be the same as our own? Okay, and take into account means what? Can anyone tell me what exactly does this mean? Take into account means what? Take into account.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry?
Sir, is it confidence, sir?
No. Take into account, it means consider.
Okay, sir.
Okay, take into account means consider. Okay, consider what that we need to see. Okay, so we need to go further here. Okay, intellectual. Okay, other than wider than perspectives, wider than the issue at hand. Wider than the issue at hand. At hand, okay. At hand is something that is a synonym of as our own. Okay, as our own. So what is that one word that we need here as an answer? What is at hand? That is the issue at hand. So the word issue is that we need here. So what is the synonym of issue that we have here?
Problem.
Problems. So it's problem.
Problems.
Problems. 1 second. Yeah, so the problems, issues. Yeah, that's true. Issues of any, but when we say issues, take into account issues which may not be the same as our own. Okay. Issues, that's true. Issue and changing the society. Yes, and when we read this whole sentence, putting that word in there, okay, so it should actually make sense here. So this is something that's important here. Okay, intellectual humility of our own knowledge. Okay, and another is appreciation of perspectives. Appreciation of perspectives. Okay, appreciation. Okay, so take into account is something that is a synonym of appreciation of perspectives. So appreciation. The next word that we need here is actually this, not the issue. That is perspectives which are wider than the issue at hand. So what do we need here is take into account the perspectives which are not as same as the ones which are in our hand. Like that. So what is the synonym of perspectives that we need here as an answer? Perspectives. In the passage, we say perspectives. Okay, the issue at hand is
Opinions.
yes, very good. That is opinions, which is closer to perspectives, because when we say perspectives, the perspective is nothing but opinion of somebody. Okay, someone's opinion is actually called perspectives. Okay, this is exactly how. Right. Okay. Well, so in this case, now let's see. Okay, so this is how the part, another type of question that we in fact have, that is fill in the blanks in this case, where the difficulty level is higher because of the synonyms that are actually matched. Okay, and we really need to make sure that we are good at it. Okay, all right, now 31 and 32, I hope things are clear. Okay, and 33, we should also be able to take a broad dash of any situation. Okay, so the word broad is our key here. That this adjective is our key, in fact. Take a broad dash of any situation. What is broad? The synonym of broad. That we need to So next sentence. So wherever our previous answer was, we need to continue from there, in fact. Okay, right. Sensitivity, possibility of change in relations, key. Or integration, different attitudes and beliefs. Okay, take a broad of any situation. So any synonym for broad here in the paragraph. We need to look down further also. Okay, I mean in the next paragraph as well, in order to see if we get any perfect scenario. I mean it's a synonym for the word that is broad in the next paragraph. Do we see the word broad anywhere? Yeah, here.
Yes, sir. More broadly.
More broadly and focus more on interpersonal and moral ideas such as justice. Okay, so it's a viewpoint, we reason more broadly. So viewpoint, so what's the synonym that we have here for viewpoint?
View, sir.
Yes, exactly, that is view here. Okay, that is view. All right, so the answers could be in the next immediate paragraph, possibly. Okay, so the distance could be of 3 to 4 lines or 2 to 3 lines. It's all of that. But we need to make sure that we understand things this way so that we save time for ourselves for other questions also. Right, okay. Right, let's go to the next question. Okay, right. So in the next one, also believes that it's better to regard scenarios with better to regard. So what's the meaning of regard here, by the way? He believes that it's better to regard scenarios. Regard here? And any guesses before I tell that? Any guesses what's the meaning of regard?
Consider, sir.
Very good. Yes. Consider. Okay, like that. So consider something. So what is that? Let's see. Regard scenarios with. Okay, like that. Yeah. Yes. Is to consider better with believes that it's better to regard scenarios with. by avoiding first person perspective. Okay, so that's a full stop there. We need to observe that. It's a full stop means it's a completion of the idea, in fact. Yeah. Liable ways. And here they say that Grossman also believes that. It means it's only about him there. Okay, just giving advice. The researchers suggest. Okay, that's about, they're talking about the first person viewpoint.
Scenario is here, sir.
Scenarios. Okay.
It's here, sir.
That
New paragraph.
most reliable ways, wisdom that they
Second
took
sentence
to look at scenarios from a
from a
third
third.
perspective. That is about third party perspective. Okay, by avoiding first person perspective. So they're talking about first person perspective. So when adopting, we focus on adopt third person, observer viewpoint, and interpersonal moral ideas, impartiality. More expansive viewpoints appears to foster cognitive processes related to wise decisions. Okay, this topic is very vague one, like that. Okay, well, okay. And we have to change the situation. We evaluate these experiences from different perspectives. Okay, so he is trying to talk about different things here. He is trying to talk about with third person viewpoint, first person viewpoint. Okay, and then about disagreement, about agreement, all of that. Okay, well, so let's see here. Support wisdom is to look at scenarios from third party perspective as though giving advice to a friend. Okay, and we focus on focal features of environment to adopt third person. We reason more broadly and focus more on moral ideas, justice and impartiality. So justice and impartiality is what he talks about. So that is regarding scenarios with being more specific. So something that is being more specific. So that is the closest one here could be is the objectivity. Okay, or it's not range because he is not talking about any boundaries as such. Okay, or neither he talks about any experiences as such here. Okay, scenarios with so and so. He is just trying to kind of summarize everything. Yeah, the first person, third person, everything put together. Okay, well, scenarios with this. So scenarios word is here. Then we can try to connect this one from a third party perspective. Means kind of little objective that we have to try to be when we say third party perspective. Okay, means being more specific to that. Okay, so I hope 34 is clear. It's a little vague, I know, but we need to go in the order like that. We can't really go far with all these paragraphs searching like that way. We'll be going away from the answer. Okay, well, now 35, by avoiding first person perspective, we focus more on dash and on other moral ideas, which turn leads to wiser decision making. Okay, so the whole topic is quite vague, so we need to just focus on the synonyms that are given. So we focus the first person perspective. So by avoiding, so we need to see where he is trying to talk about avoiding something. Okay, so here he says, while adopting first person viewpoint, adopting is different, avoiding is different. Okay, adopting, avoiding, there are two different things. Okay, let's see if anywhere else, if he talks about first person here though. Right, he talks about this experiment, recent this thing, students, first person. No, he doesn't talk about this anywhere here. Right, he doesn't talk about this. So we need to only scan for the word first person. So only then we can focus on avoiding that, and then we can focus on this. Okay, but he doesn't talk about this anywhere here like that. Okay, perspective is sensitivity and compromise. Yeah. No. Third party perspective he talks about, and first party viewpoint, the focal features. And when we adopt a third person, observer viewpoint.
That is there that focus more on interpersonal and moral ideas.
Interpersonal moral ideas such as justice and impartiality. We focus more on looking at problems from this more expansive viewpoint appears to foster cognitive processes related to wise decisions. Okay, wise decisions.
Wiser.
that is
Wise.
yeah. So wiser decision making. So here it is. You see, wiser decision making.
Last line.
So it means that everything is discussed here within this paragraph itself. Interpersonal and moral ideas. So that's what he talks about. Okay, moral ideas. Means we focus more on being on morality. What is the synonym of morality here in these options?